You good, Brandon?
Okay.
There we go. I can hear you.
There we go. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome everybody to a brand new episode for Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Fernio. Joined by me is my co-host Deon Johnson, Niner Gang Podcast. How we doing, man? It's
I'm
been a
good.
while.
I'm good. How about yourself? It has. It has been a very long time.
Yes, it has for sure.
Yeah.
But we're started the new season. OTAs started yesterday. Saw a little bit of it today. What are your thoughts? We saw a little bit of Trey Lance with the clips that we saw on Twitter. Um,
Uh-huh.
what are your thoughts on Trey Lance's
I mean,
improvement?
looks like we got media in the background. You say you here, so I think you got
Oh,
to bring him in.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. There
There
he
he
is. What's
is.
up, dude?
Media in the house.
What's up? Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, good, man. You ain't that late. We literally just started. But my idea, my thoughts are just, hey, he's been working with the best of the best, working with Josh Allen, working with Patrick Mahomes. You can see his throwing motion is completely different. He said he's been getting his footwork right. I watched the interview that he had today, and the beauty of it is Lance is very hopeful, and he's basically like, hey, this is where I want to be. This is I want to compete. All of those things. So he's doing the necessary things in the off season to be able to make himself better. Hanging around with a guy like Patrick Mahomes makes a lot of sense. Dude just won the Super Bowl, so kind of is what it is. But to be honest with you, it's I don't know if it's off or not, man. I just don't, because just the way that Kyle talked about, Brock and all this hope for week one and everything, it just leads me to believe that there's not a lot of hope for Trey Lance in general. Like they have it in their mind, it's made up. Hey, this is going to be the guy. When they asked Kyle about Trey Lance taking the first team snaps during OTAs, he's like, well, don't put a lot of stock in that, because it's just OTAs. Like, there's not an offensive line. There's a lot of things. And no, you can't. But at the same time, my thing is you pick Trey Lance number 3 overall. Why, therefore, would you decide to give any reps away to a guy who was picked very high but never panned out to do anything in the NFL and split that? Like, it to me, it's disrespectful, but it kind of is what it is. But we kick it down to media. How you feel about Trey Lance and the offseason work and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that he's been working out with, Patrick Mahomes. He even said, I guess he's been getting a bit of a massage on those legs and things like that, which kind of cracked me up when he said that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, he says he does the same things no matter what. Like, he's not changing his routine. You could definitely tell from the clips that like his throwing motion's different. It's quicker. He's back to kind of what they wanted him to have it at. Because remember, he had that finger injury, in his rookie year, so that kind of limited him to some ex some extent. So um, I'm just hoping that Trey Lance is really given the opportunity, and like you said, Dion, it kind of sounds like the 49ers are really on Brock Purdy, but also that just could be that obviously they've seen it, so they're probably gonna say that they probably would want to stick with the kind of hot hands type of guys. So I'm hoping that Trey Lance goes out there and proves what he has to prove, and is better than Purdy, or shows exactly what Purdy did last season. And the thing is, we might not be able to tell too much from OTAs because again, there's not going to be padding. It's only a few days really when camp comes. I feel like that's when we're anyways going to get a bit better picture. And according to Kyle Shanahan, it sounds like Purdy's going to be throwing next week. So looks like he's on schedule. But yeah, man, I'm just hoping Trey Lance really, flourishes and shows why he was, drafted number 3 overall. And I'm really hoping that he's the starter. I really don't think he should be sitting on the bench. It's not his fault that he got hurt. It's not his fault that there was a pandemic. That he barely got to play. Like, you're the Niners. You didn't have to take Trey Lance. You had a guy like Justin Fields who you could have taken, who played a lot more games in college. You decided to take Trey Lance, and so play him, give him the fair chance that he needs.
How you feel about that, Brandon?
Yeah, I agree. I was actually kind of surprised when they said that Brock Purdy is going to start throwing next week. I was kind of just more focused on, Trey Lance is probably going to be our starter this year, knowing how Brock is. But the news that we got today after the first day of OTAs, or second day of OTAs, kind of shocked. But I kind of like how Trey responded to the. And if I'm cutting out, guys, don't mind me. I'm on my phone. I'm sorry for the back. But like I said, I feel like Trey Lance kind of has such a great attitude when it comes to this stuff. When it's like kind of backfired on him, with everything, he's like, the same answer like he always says. I'm here to compete and get opportunity. Then I'm all for it. But if not, that's okay. Like no bad juju or on Brock or whatever. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and what's going on, Chris, Dave, and Steve-O? And we got an allegedly Steve-O. It's funny. Hey, what's going on, Mariah?
What's up, Mariah?
So I agree, man. He always has the best mindset, and I think it's just it's from that home life. That's how he was raised. To understand and face adversity, and to face it, take it head on, and not be worried about what happens. Just go into it, face first and call it a day. But I just feel like the Niners are so, and it's very unfortunate.
It's so bad, dude.
I mean,
let me see if I can reload it.
For me, I feel like what's going on, Bebop? We got old school in the house, but for me, I feel like it's very simple. Who the fuck is in there talking about 94 check? Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, y'all trash ass Rams, don't start me with that bullshit.
Sorry,
they in here trying to talk shit because these motherfuckers won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, but then had the worst record for any team that ever won a Super Bowl. Y'all don't knock that off. But I just, for me, it's just very simple, man. I just feel like the Niners are sold on Brock Purdy, and that's who they want to roll with. And it's just a situation of thinking, okay, is Brock going to be really ready to go week 1? One thing Kyle is really big on is practice. He does want to see you practice before you play. It's very rare that you can just get out there and do whatever you need to do.
That's so weird.
Before practicing. But I would say, to be honest with you, it's a situation of Trey Lance just going out there and showing everybody what he can do. Of course, it's a situation of Kyle giving him the opportunity.
Use your car lock,
Brandon. You having a whole conversation. Yeah, but it's honestly the Rams are stacked.
Bro, you have a bunch of rookies and
what are you
boys that just...
I need you. Yeah, please, somebody go ahead, get the fuck out of here with that shit. The Rams are stacked. The Rams ain't doing shit, and the Rams can't even take. Okay, first of all, that's Levi South. Let's get that right. All right, so they can't take over nothing in Northern Cali until they get Southern Cali together. And with the way that your stupid ass fucking owner was acting, hey, what's going on, man? And Joey already with the bullshit, man. I love it. And with the way that your owner acted, that's why y'all motherfuckers are paying the rent on that stadium, and the Chargers ain't paying shit but $1. So how about y'all get your money right and stop trying to do underhanded sneaky shit, and you wouldn't have to worry about things like that. Stack. All you have is Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp. That's literally it. You have nothing else. And I can tell you right now, old Brokeback Stafford ain't going to last the whole season. So I hope whoever you drafted at QB can help, because you're going to need it. Yeah, like, I don't understand. David M., what's going on? But I honestly feel like I like his comment. He said there's no reason we shouldn't have an open competition between Brock and Trey Lance. But here's the issue. It's Kyle. We all know how he is. Kyle can be a very egotistical maniac, and he can act the way that he acts and do the things that he does. And it's really hard for us to actually, take care of the players properly, because we don't know what he's going to do. Like, he makes decisions based off of how he feels and no one else. And then at the same time, look at the offseason. What have they been saying all along? Who have they been putting everybody that they've been putting out to everybody? Brock's the guy. That, and I really truthfully don't care anything about what John Lynch says, because he's always, we're happy with the progress, that he's making. And like, he just gives you a bunch of bullshit. And I'm one of those people, like, this is why I probably have never been a reporter, because I'm one of those people. I would turn around and look and go, bro, I didn't ask you for a 5-minute soliloquy that says nothing. Motherfucker, I asked you if this dude was going to be ready to play. And if he's ready to play, then say that. But I don't need you telling me how optimistic you are and happy you are. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that. I need you to tell me what you need to tell me, period. That's it. But Beto is in the house. Niner sickness is here. There it is. But hey, man, Beto, and I say this with all due respect, RIP to you Lakers, man. I'm sorry about what happened, bro. I know that's a rough one for y'all.
Yeah. It sucks, bro. But at least we took the Warriors with us before, so.
I knew he was gonna do it because he got Brandon right there. Yeah, but
I wish Boston would have lost today.
What are your thoughts on what we heard in the presser today, and these first couple of days of OTAs?
Well, second day of media. I mean, the second day of OTAs, first day of media being out there. I was encouraged. I listened to a couple of credential reporters. I wanted to watch a few different people, because I wanted to see if their perspectives were the same, because a lot of them have their own input of a certain player. So I want to see their perspective. But I heard a lot of good things about Trey Lance. I heard about his mechanics. I heard that he looks better when he's going into those throw. And hopefully he's, this guy can really pull it out. I'm rooting for him. I'm never hidden that I'm a big Brock Purdy fan. And I think Brock Purdy can be very successful here. But I want Trey. Trey's the guy that I want running the ship at full force. And if he changes mechanics, I love it. If he's doesn't get that arm fatigue and he's able to do what he needs to do, more power to him. I love the offensive line. I heard some great things of McKivitz. I love the fact that Spencer Burford looks like a mini Trent Williams now, all buffed up. That is positive as a guard, and then you already have Aaron Banks. So a lot of things I heard are exciting. Again, it's only the second day of OTAs, right? Shit can happen between now and minicamp, but things are positive. This time last year, I wasn't hearing nothing positive, particularly of Trey. So it's good to hear that and I'm glad that he's finally healed of all the issues that were bothering him, and what a great opportunity for him to take back what belongs to him.
Hey, that's well said right there, man. And What do you say? Pick a team, Deon. It's either the Braves or the Frauders. You ass back. You know what, Tommy? You can eat a fat fucking dick, okay?
Oh,
It
Tommy's
could
like
be the
that, bro.
Braves. It could be the Braves. It's the Braves and the Dodgers,
Thank you.
and I'll ride with either team. I guarantee you they'll kick your team's ass. Note that self. But hey, man, it's Tommy with that bullshit right now. But either way, man, for me, let's switch it up because we already know how the quarterback situation kind of plays out. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then we got Brandon. Brandon is disappearing more than AD in the playoffs. I don't know what the fuck going on.
And
Brandon see
D'Angelo
me come
Russell,
in,
too.
run the show. He's disappeared.
Right?
More than D'Angelo Russell in the playoffs.
Amen. So David says my thing is now teams have film on Purdy, won't sneak up on teams. Even with all those weapons, Purdy did have some luck. Some games where it should have been, and Brandon took us all out now. He's the only man on you're the only man on the screen. I just want you to know
Put
that.
yourself driving in the screen, bro.
Yeah, Brandon, you ain't
Nobody wants to see his ugly ass.
B-Dubs, you should have just got old, bro. But switching it up from the quarterbacks, because we all know that that's just going to be something none of us are ever going to know. Kyle is only going to do the same thing, speaking fucking riddles, and John Lynch is going to be optimistic about every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you took a shit yesterday. Well, I'm optimistic of how the log dropped out of my ass and hit the water in the toilet, and a little bit of it splashed, but it was cold. Even though there's pee there, I use baby wipes, so I'm okay.
Hey, Kyle Shanahan doesn't even know if he's going to be alive on Sunday. So.
Exactly. I can respect Brock. Brock got up there, talked a lot about his faith. He is very, very strong in his faith, and I respect that much. And I respect Trey Lance too because he gets up there and he never wavers. He doesn't let anything stop him. But
I'm Donald looked like he came from the Caveman show. I was looking the way he looked. I was looking for his, those caveman things they hold.
The clubs.
The club, yeah. or waiting for him dragging his wife with the hair. All right, baby, let's go.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. I honestly think that switching it up, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some position battles that we feel are gonna be great. I honestly am very, very curious to see the DBs in camp and what they bring to the table. Of course, that's my favorite position, defensive back. But I'm very curious to see what they have to offer because outside of Mooney and Demo, we have a few question marks after that. And we brought in some players that we feel can do some things. We got Darrell Luter Jr., we got Isaiah Oliver. We still got Womack. Quantrez Knight is still there. And unfortunately, Ambry Thomas is still here. Yeah. I feel bad because that motherfucker and all but disappeared. And we've got Jair Brown. Now, Brown, I'm going to tell you right now, is probably going to be a special teams contributor. And I think he's going to be one of those guys that are in those three safety sets that Steve Wilkes likes to run every now and then. But that's my position group where I think there's going to be some great competition. What's going on, Dave? So I'm going to kick it down to media. What is your position group that you feel is going to provide you the best competition?
All right. Well, I don't know if this is a competition, but the Niners probably going to see it as a competition. Tight end, I want to see Russ Dwelly pack his fucking bags and get off this fucking team and go to the practice. Wow. No, don't even go to the practice squad, bro. Just get out of the NFL,
Chicken
bro.
Milk doesn't
I freaking want.
Come on, Milk, you're doing it.
Okay, Milk Dud,
Brandon Willis, who had the one-handed catch today. He's taking over, baby. And also Cameron Latu. Bye-bye to Mr. Ross Dwelly.
Okay, so Christian, you just came in. Brandon been in and out this whole time. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's just his reception, unfortunately. So you just came in, and now
his reception is as good as the Warriors against the Lakers, or what?
Hey, look, man, I don't know. But what are your thoughts on what happened today with the with the pressers and whatnot in the first couple of days of OTAs?
I haven't paid any attention. I have
Okay.
no clue about anything yet.
He's still recovering from the Lakers.
No, I'm not even that upset about the Lakers. Mostly, guys, I have not paid enough attention during the offseason because Niners Twitter during the offseason is kind of a cesspool, so I don't pay attention until the season.
Fair.
Towards the season,
he in
so I haven't
detox
paid
mode.
attention.
I'll give him credit. He's in detox, and I can understand that.
Yeah.
Because yes, Niners Twitter is a fucking toxic ass place.
He's in the
He
he's
said,
in the
I'm not
darkness
about
like
to
Aaron
hang out in
Rodgers
there with the
was.
bullshit. So I respect it, Christian. I do. So since you haven't been paying much attention, just tell me what position battle in camp you think is going to be the most competitive.
The quarterback.
Oh, okay. He went straight for it. Okay.
If Purdy's back and his arm's fine and it's not, we're not seeing a huge, him like being worse because of the injury, it's fully going to be quarterback the whole time because they're going to have to legitimately battle each other for who's going to it. Because Kyle's going to want to lean Purdy if Purdy can go, so Lance is going to have to beat him out.
Gotcha.
In every sense, and that's the most important position, so that's the most compelling one.
All right. So go ahead, Beto. What you got?
Oh man, pretty much been covered. Because the tight ends it's an area for the backup of Kittle. Obviously, the quarterbacks are going to be a competition. I want to see the competition at the slot corner position between Womack and Isaiah Oliver. I think those two guys are going to compete for that spot. I understand that Steve Wilkes said that Oliver is the best corner slot that they brought in free agency, but I want to see if that encourages Womack to step up and how Womack plays this year. But I think that's going to be a good competition too, is the slot corner between those two guys. It's going to be fun to watch all areas, but I think those are as well. And also the defensive end aside, is Drake Jackson going to step up with all those muscles on him now?
Bro's looking
Or is he
bulk.
going to battle it with Farrell?
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I like that, man, because they have said that Drake Jackson has been putting on, some muscle and whatnot, working on his conditioning to be able to get his body right so he can get out there. Because I honestly feel like that D line is definitely going to be solid. And if Jackson can anchor the other side opposite Bosa, we'll have a very formidable line because Jackson still has crazy athleticism and speed to get to the quarterback. So I have no doubt that, he'll be able to do some things that we wouldn't have think. Man, don't pay no attention to Tommy. He in there on some fuck shit. Just tonight, he in there trolling like a motherfucker.
Tommy's.
Yeah, man. But switching it up, man. I'm curious, man. This offensive line, what's killing me right now is honestly, I feel like now we've reverted back to having only 3 solid positions, and the other 2 are in flux. And I'll say Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, and Jake Brendel are all a lock for their positions. But for some reason, Feliciano comes in and feels like he's about to steal the starting spot. So now, what do we do with Spencer Burford? Do we kick him out to right tackle? No, they said Colt McKivitz is the guy. He's going to be the right tackle. But you have a few offensive linemen that came in, and I'm like, all right, cool, But honestly, I think if you want to win, you leave the offensive line the exact way it is, and you just figure out the right tackle spot. Don't fuck around with it and play with it. You got to take yourself off the full screen, bro. It's just you. Don't mess around and play with it, and then wind up having. Yeah,
well, I thought it was Beto.
Wow, blaming me.
He has control of this too, so.
Yeah, so for me, I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of just don't play with the offensive line like that because it's too intricate of a position. Like we need it, and we need it to be solidified so when they go out there, they're playing correctly. Because the more time you have spent next to someone as far as that line goes, the easier it is for you to be able to understand what they do and don't do. You're going to start to know their moves. You'll understand the little subtle nuances of how they play. And, any and everything counts. And you can't just keep continuing to rotate shit just because you think it's the thing to do or you want to know this. You rotate on the second team. Just don't fuck with the first team. That's what kills me.
I mean, our offensive line's our Achilles heel, and it has been every year. I'm kind of upset we didn't really address the offensive line, so yeah, I'm going to definitely be nervous this season about keeping our quarterbacks healthy because we're going to struggle at that position.
Go ahead. I have a question for you though.
Good.
Why do you feel so concerned about the offensive line? 'Cause
I mean, the
personally,
offensive line.
I'm not that concerned beside the right tackle spot.
The offensive line wasn't good. Wasn't the best last year. I mean, specifically the right side, yeah, but we got three quarterbacks hurt last season. That's why I'm concerned about the offensive line because we can't keep our quarterback upright.
Here's the issue. It wasn't the line that got the quarterbacks hurt.
Nope.
It was the tight end that's
first injury. That was Kyle's fault because he decided to run Trey Lance like a goddamn running back, and he was running too many RPOs. He was too heavy on the fucking run and too light on the pass. That second injury, Jimmy was outside the pocket, man. He had to roll out. They gave him more than enough time. He just rolled out to try to make a fucking play and got tackled. Right. And then Brock, I mean, we just had a worthless tight end trying to catch a Hassan Reddick screaming off the fucking edge like a maniac. So we can't really say it was the line who got our quarterbacks injured. Mm-hmm. If they were standing in the pocket, I would be able to understand that a little bit more. But it happens, with the way that it did. So for me, the right tackle spot is where my question mark is, just because I don't know who's going to be the guy. But I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I was actually impressed because, number one, Aaron Banks came off of a year where we didn't even know what the fuck he was, came in, played very well. Of course, standing next to the Silverback does help. And then Spencer Burford, even though they were rotating him in and out in favor of Dan Brunskill here and there, he still did a fantastic fucking job. So for me, the line, technically speaking, is solidified. But I feel like when they bring this dude Feliciano in here, they're going to try to rotate him and see if he can try to steal a spot from someone, which I feel is fucking bullshit. Like, there's things you play around with and things that you can't. You can rotate a defensive line. Yeah. Because that works, but you can't rotate an offensive line. That doesn't make sense.
No.
I think you can't be much worse than how McGlinchey played last season. He's pretty terrible in way too many games. I wish we would have upgraded at center, maybe, just because our center had way too many penalties. Like, it was your center's supposed to be your rock guy on the line, and he just made way too many stupid penalties, which hurt us in games. So I don't know. I feel like I hope so, because I feel like we didn't really address the line at all, and it was like our biggest need, I would say, probably more than anything.
I could agree with you on that.
I really disagree about the center thing. I understand people, are concerned about that, and yeah, he had the penalties, but again, dude, it was his first year starting in the system, starting with the 49ers, a guy who's a journeyman. I think he played I think he didn't play any worse than I thought. Like, I think for a guy that was a journeyman and his first year starting and was on the practice squad like before that, I think he did a pretty solid job.
He made the Pro Bowl his first year.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowl alternate.
Alternate, yeah.
And
yeah, but the thing is, I understand where Christian is coming from when he says as far as an upgrade. Look, Jake Brendel did the best job that he could, but I hear him on the penalties because Jake Brendel led the league in illegal man downfield penalties. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck your big ass was doing running that far downfield, but stay your ass in your fucking
lane. He was a receiver.
Like,
he was trying to prove Jason Poe or something,
right? Like, just like Dan Orlovsky told Jimmy to stay out of his lane, Jake Brendel stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So I understand him to an extent because those penalties they're going to kill us.
He was looking like the Warrior fans looking for the Western Conference Finals.
Damn, y'all fired.
And Brandon
Look,
left right away.
you
when
made
we-
Brandon leave, man.
Brandon,
You made
see,
Brandon
I'm over
leave.
here. I'm a Warriors fan, and I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck.
I
that
can't
you're
help it,
making
dude,
all
because
these jokes.
Warrior fans got me incensed, bro. They are
What's
freaking
worse,
out.
McKivitz or Brandon's internet?
Brandon.
Y'all ain't right.
Brandon's in.
There's
Y'all keep
throwback,
doing
dude. There's
this,
throwback with he knows. He gets it.
Dude, I don't
But,
care.
I
I don't know what's going
You're
on.
doing all these jokes on.
My phone keeps like refreshing
Nobody's
the
asking
internet.
you. Go
and
back
I
to
don't know.
sleep.
Beto ain't giving, man. He ain't just chilling, man. He ain't giving no fuck.
Our show's always just fun.
Um,
Though. Great.
This is
So
like an
I do
Italian
want to get
excuse.
everybody's thoughts on my guy because I've been knowing about this dude. A lot of people are late to the fucking party. Jay
Oklahoma.
Peasy, aka Jacour Pearson.
Oh,
So I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I've been watching this dude because I watched Destroying his YouTube channel, and when he does his one-on-ones, Jay Peasy has been there from damn near the beginning. And I've seen this dude just bake people consistently. So him getting into the XFL, awesome. Him getting himself a tryout, awesome. But the problem is, why are people passing on his talent? Bro, we got 6 different receivers that could have definitely fucking left, and we could have picked him up because I feel like he's gonna, he's definitely
he's gonna wind up with a
a
Chiefs.
little Debo Samuel, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is crazy, but
What is he like? 4'10"?
You said what?
Is he like 4'10"?
Look, man, just because he's short don't mean he can't play.
No, I know, but you seen him out there with the big guys. I was like, whose kid is that? And I'm like,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
looks
player.
he looks small.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he does look small. But the boy can play. You're right. He led the XFL in receiving.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the XFL, but I'm surprised they let him go. But I've been hearing some good stuff about. Again, it's only second day of OTAs, but of Ronnie
Belly
Bell.
up, same.
Yeah, he's 5'9", 180.
5'9". Okay.
Yeah, but wasn't Bell was really he went Michigan, right? That's where he.
Yep.
Michigan Wolverine.
Yeah, he was. He was really good for them though.
Yeah, he just had the ACL like before that. But talking about your guy Deon, the thing is, the Niners, I feel like wide receiver room for the most part set. The only question mark I really have is what the heck does Danny Gray look like? I think that's the only guy's spot that is up in the air. I really don't think there's I feel like everybody else kind of has that spot locked. So I think maybe there's a chance that he could make the roster, but honestly, I see a lot of these UDFA guys just being guys trying to,
Well, Danny
show
Gray is
something
rooting for
other
Trey Lance to
teams.
make it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the wide receivers that we currently have on the team. Of course, we got Debo, BA, JJ, Ray. Then we got
Locks.
Ronnie Bell, Danny Gray, Chris Connolly, Willie Snead, Tay Martin, Daz Newsome, Shea Wyatt, and Isaiah Winstead. First of all, I don't know who the fuck Shea Wyatt is. I don't know who
Was
the
that
fuck
the guy?
Isaiah.
Didn't we release him? I know there was somebody we released.
Tay Martin is one of the dudes we released.
Yeah, they brought him
No,
back.
it was like recently.
And Willie Snead too. So my thing is, you mean to tell me Chris Connolly, Willie Snead, Tate Martin, Daz Newsome, and Shea Wyatt, and Isaiah Winstead all should be better than Jacour Pearson? I doubt it. You know why? Because none of those motherfuckers ever saw the field, and half of those dudes, I don't even know who the fuck they are.
Hey,
I can
put
tell
some
you right
respect
now.
on Winstead, though. Come on.
Who the fuck is Winstead?
He,
Who is he?
He's a little bit small, but he's a physical type of receiver.
What's the 6'4"? How small do you want him to be?
Yeah, a little bit small. The fuck 6'4" is tall. Hell be the but my thing, I'm just
6'4"
saying
is
that
small, bro.
He kind of reminds me of a Juwan Jennings because he is he has a physicality. Like,
Is he the one from Coastal Carolina?
yes,
Yes.
Dude, he's apparently slow. But he
Juwan Jennings is was.
I know, but he goes up and gets the ball like a bit, like he plays like a big receiver. Like
I don't care if you go.
I
up and
watched
get
some of
the
his
ball. A lot of people could do that.
I watched his film when we got him, and I like actually I really liked him. I just remember his name, but like when I watched his film,
what
the guy
is up
from
with
Coastal
Brandon's?
Carolina, he's a floating head.
Yo, man, you should have never gave Beto control. He gonna fuck with
acid,
you the
bro.
whole time, Brandon. You know it. But
So
I'll say this. So here's my thing. Yeah, Kinlaw. I don't care about Kinlaw. I don't give a fuck what he does. I truthfully don't. At this point, I'm done. I knew they weren't going to pick up his 5th-year option. It is what it is. But what I will ask y'all is,
Carolina.
Beto, I'm gonna start with you. Who is the guy you're looking at in OTAs and training camp that you would like to stand out? Like, who's that dude that you're looking at going, this guy's got to make an impact?
Drake Jackson for me on that side of Bosa, because that front line is set. We just need that second-year player. We drafted him in the second round. He's hit the weights. He's gained weight muscle-wise. He's still fast. To me, he's the guy that needs to come in and be productive for that defense to hum the way it needs to hum. If we want to see something like the 2019 season when we had D Ford, we need that speed coming from that side. So for me, that's him. That's what I need him to step up and play out this year.
All right, perfect. Drake Jackson, media, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the name we have not mentioned, and this is for the Niners said they were super high on him when they drafted him. Nick fucking Zell. That man does in his second year. I want to see how he can be, a guy that's going to be Nick Zakel.
Oh, Zakel.
Like, he's not going to be starting, but I just want to see him be a beast for that, just the depth.
You want him to be the best backup there is.
Yeah, I want him to be a stud as a depth piece.
I can respect that. What about you, Brandon? Who's that guy that has to make an impact this year?
A ghost.
Casper.
Yeah, he had to. Okay, we'll kick it over to you, Christian, because Brandon is
the
audio
ghost.
tripping.
He's the ghost of Warriors Dynasty's past.
Brandon's too busy.
Funny how Brandon's so affected by this, and like, bro, I'm a Warriors fan, but I don't even care.
Dude, it's like him and Ted are just so fun to fuck with because they don't let it go.
Fuck you, fool.
Ted's going like,
Ted took the biggest.
Joey said my head looks like a green apple.
You look like you came out of Kinlaw's ass.
Oh my!
Hey, wow, really? Hey, Beto,
what's up, Kinlaw?
Can you do me a solid? Can you turn off my background, please?
Sorry,
Hey, you do me a side of here? I'll just take you off the fucking screen. Oh God. Oh, I think he wanted you to.
Fuck you, Beto. God damn it.
You're the one invited me, bro. Shut up.
Hey, man.
Matito.
My green apple.
So, Christian.
Italian apple.
I hate you so much, bitch.
Stand out, man.
So we talk about like guys that have already been on the team.
Yeah, basically somebody you've seen that you feel needs to make an impact this year.
Hi, Brandon. This is Brandon. Hello.
Can I just say like maybe the set like whoever's gonna the tight end number 2, like whether that's one of the 2 rookies we drafted. I want to see somebody actually step up and actually be
Oklahoma. Just remember that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. The guy from Oklahoma, like I know he was a later pick, but I really like him and I like his attitude. I like his attitude, so I feel like he might be the guy to step up. And
was that Braden Willis?
Yes.
The guy from Alabama might play. Is it Latu from Alabama? He might be.
Latu.
I want to see one of those guys, make an impact because I really would like to see our number 2 tight end really
If they both make an impact,
Be
be fun to
good.
get rid of Warner and the other idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like
Yeah,
I
said
want
it earlier.
I want
Russ
to finally have
Dudley
that
it,
tight
pack
end where
your
like a
bags.
Kittle, like it doesn't have to only be Kittle. Like I'd like to have a second tight end like that we can actually trust.
Can
'Cause I
someone
do
tell
think
the
Kyle-
child to wait his
I do
turn?
think we would see Kyle run more 2 tight end sets if he had a tight end he could trust, which I don't think he does other than Kittle.
Okay.
So
I ain't
I would
mad
like
at
to
that.
see one of the tight ends take off. That would be pretty awesome for our
I
offense.
like that pick, Christian.
I'm gonna tell you right now, D. Winters. Remember the name, buddy. That kid is going to make a crazy impact. It is going to be a fight between him and Jalen Grant for that third spot. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm picking Winters all day.
Hey,
I like
Dion.
what Jalen Grant
Hey,
does.
did you see
Can we make
Marcelino
a can we
McCurry
make a
ball
friendly
both
bet, me and you?
Sure. What you talking?
$20. You know, something
Okay.
simple. I'm taking Graham over Winters.
Okay.
They have the
Gotcha.
better. You know what I mean? Because I think this kid Graham from Purdue, man. This kid's
Yeah,
gonna.
I watched both of them, and I love what Jalen Grant does. Don't get me wrong, but there's just I'm one of those guys. I get a feeling about somebody, and at
I
least
hear you.
about a good 7 times out of 10, I'm usually right.
Hey, bro, if they
Right.
both do good,
And I'm
we tie,
telling
that's
you right
even
now,
better, right?
Hey, I'm with that. I'm with it. But I can tell you right now, as much media, you hate Ross Dwelly. That's safe to say, correct? Dwelly's just not the guy. See, and that's how I feel
Did he
about
touch you the wrong way?
And
No,
that's how
I
feel
just
about the
hate him
Flanagan
because,
draft.
dude, I don't
Why is
fucking
DFS
feel
Dude,
good on the
can I just
team, bro.
can I just
Okay,
say something real quick?
okay, put some fucking respect on my guy right now, Deon.
On who?
Ooh,
DFF.
What
Oh,
respect
yeah,
should I put on him?
I thought you
The
were talking
fact that
about
this
Moody.
nigga's wait, hold on. The fact that this motherfucker is a lifetime special teamer, that's what you want him to put respect on? He ain't done shit and he'll never do shit.
Okay, well, I don't fucking care, bro. He's a special teams guy, and
Look, media,
doesn't need to
you ain't
start
about to
now.
get no respect from me. Okay, if that's the case, then you need to put some respect on Ross the Boss Dwelly's hands.
No, I
because at
don't,
least he can
because
catch the ball.
what the fuck has Ross Dwelly done?
That's exactly my point. What the fuck has DFF done?
Special teams.
Which means not a goddamn
This
thing.
is the guy that wants to
I-
see a backup lineman do good.
Ross
I just say
Dwelly,
something
bro,
real quick?
can't even block, bro.
Okay.
Hey.
and
Can I just say
it's-
something funny real quick?
Hold on, the floating head.
Hey,
wants
you
to say
guys.
something.
Fuck you, Beto. That's what I gotta say.
Hey, can I just say something real
Motherfucker.
quick? I got
Okay.
something funny.
Anyways, hey, you know who I'm choosing? Motherfucking Moody,
Choose
our new
Aaron.
fucking kicker.
Oh, Jake Moody.
Bro, did you guys see
That
he
kid's
missed,
got one hell
what
of a
was it,
leg.
like 39-yard field goal today?
So what?
They both missed a
Yeah, that's
48-yarder.
I mean, you got to think about it. The kid's coming out of college. He's going to be a
Yeah,
kicker.
that's
He's going to be our kicker of the future. It is. what the
Isn't
fuck it
the
is.
field goal
But
thing also like
I
a
do
little
like it.
skinnier?
I like the pick. It's definitely out of the box. Jason DePonte would be very proud, as he doesn't necessarily care for special teams or kickers or even long snappers. But for me, the reason why I don't put any respect on DFF is because he's never done anything. He's a lifetime special teamer that does nothing. He isn't even the gunner on special teams.
Nope.
Like, our gunner has changed year after year.
Hey,
Our gunner at
DFF, I
one
need to
time was
send this.
Raheem fucking Mostert.
Ross Dwelly's better than him, and that's not saying much.
Bro, no, he's not.
I mean, like, it's not.
He gets more playing time.
I
Joey
don't
with
give
the
two
again.
shits if I'm his only fan, bro. I don't even care.
He
Hey,
probably is, because I can tell you right now, I wouldn't take a DFF jersey if you gave it to me for free. It'd be a waste. I wouldn't
Okay,
care.
I want to talk about Marcelino McCurry ball though. If we're talking about linebackers, because we haven't
Okay,
mentioned
yeah,
him
but
yet.
okay. I hope he does something, but I could tell you right now, if they were sold on Marcelino McCurry ball, we wouldn't have two other
Thank you.
linebackers
That's
that
right.
got drafted. And
Yes.
that's just how this team moves. They draft based on need. And even if we think that spot is filled, they'll still draft there because they're not impressed with what
They didn't draft one; they drafted two, bro.
One of these
that
guys
tells you
will
a
pan
lot.
out. Hey, one of these guys will pan out. We do really well drafting late in the rounds. Finding
We do.
gems. Greenlaw was one of those guys. One of these guys are going to be the same thing.
Well, they drafted a Greenlaw and a Fred Warner. Fred, what's the name? Graham looks like Fred Warner when he first
And
came.
D Winners looks like
and
Greenlaw.
Winners looks like Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw, yeah. So I mean, even if it's a situation where McCrary Ball goes or he winds up back on the practice squad, and we have these two guys that we draft to get out there and do what they got to do, I'm with that. Like I'm okay. It just makes. Oh God,
Joe.
Hey,
Joey,
can I
man,
just?
can't deal
I
with
just.
this guy.
I wanted to
Throw
freaking
me
address. I just wanted to make a joke about Ted's comment, if I got a chance.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I sure did. If you mentioned the Warriors and Ted, dude, there's a fucking bat signal that goes off in his fucking little office, and he gets on there with his little thing already on pace and pastes the same message everywhere he goes.
Hey, look, Ted.
Dude, I
hey,
see he said
I'ma
the same thing like on Twitter like
I'ma
5
tell you
times
this.
today.
I give him credit because Ted is a consistent motherfucker. With
Yeah, dude, I swear he
Warrior
literally
He's
heard
that
me.
quiet assassin troll.
He heard me say Ted and Warriors somehow. I don't know how. He just and then like a bat signal went off in his room, and he's like,
Hey man, hey, like I said, Ted is my dog, man. I give him credit. He ride with his Warrior. He ride and die
I know.
with
I just had to
him.
get him because it's funny. But
I'll
I
give
just
him
thought
that
it was funny.
much. But hey, man, it's just this offseason is going to be extremely interesting when it comes to all the position battles. The funny thing is our team likes to act like there are no positions that are solidified, even though all of us know that there are, and nobody's fucking dumb. So my biggest always gripe with them is always the same thing. They talk to the media, and our media is soft as shit. Like the only person in there that isn't soft is Grant Cohn, and he can actually play for a question, and they still are a bunch of bullshit. So, it's just a situation, man. And I honestly feel like those battles in camp, right tackle, defensive back, for the nickel spot. And who knows? What if Jair Brown would that spot opposite Hufanga? That would be crazy. You see the young rook just come out and steal that grown man job.
I would freaking love that if freaking he takes Gibson out somehow. Because like,
hey man, Gibson has 6 interceptions. Technically, he dropped a few.
Yeah,
and he helped with getting a few. So I ain't mad at what Gibson did, man. Like he did what he could for us. We appreciate that. But I'll ask you guys this question. Ahead of right now, what's our record for the season? Anybody could go. As a matter of fact,
13 and 4.
Christian, give me something, man. I know you don't like doing predictions, but go right ahead.
I don't know. So there's 17 games in the season now, right? I'll go with me. It's hard because I'm not having certainty at the quarterback position at this moment. It's hard for me to make I feel like a good. Sorry, bring it, Beto. Beto, you can't make me laugh.
Oh God, man. Hey, you can't do that when you trying to make a point, bro.
Come on,
with this shit.
Okay, so like I was saying, I think when just the uncertainty quarterback position, it's hard to know, but I would just go with something that makes more sense. And
Gibson's back.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And I can't. Okay, so like I was saying, I'll go 12-5 just to kind of be even.
Okay.
And I could even say 11-6. Like I don't know if we're gonna be like we were last year and have that huge run. It's hard to know. Like, we have a very winnable schedule this year. I'd say it's not as hard as say last year might have been.
Mm-hmm.
But until I like know where we're at with quarterback, who's going to start, I see them
Little
play.
hard.
I have to get kind of a feel for the season. Like, I know you're not, it's hard to say I need to feel for the season because you want to make a prediction before they start. But
Mm-hmm.
if for example, if Purdy didn't get hurt and he was starting and we knew what we had, then I'd say, 13-4, 14-3,
Gotcha.
maybe because I know what we have, but I don't know if Lance is going to play and play well. If, I have no clue what it's going to look like. It's really, really hard to make a prediction.
I got you. So Emiliano, the only reason that we talk about these players the way that we talk about them is because some of these cats fucking suck. I'm saying that I feel confident in D. Winter's ability to be able to come in and be the third linebacker. I'm just from what I watched on his college film, that's the case. Some people they love Jalen Graham. They like what he could bring. The reason that I talk about the other players is because they don't do shit. I'm sorry, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, Emiliano. You've been watching football. Please tell me what the fuck he's done for the 49ers. And I don't mean that in a negative way towards you. I'm just speaking in general terms.
It's like the Warriors offense.
He's never done anything. Ross Dwelly, what has he done since he's been here? Not a fucking thing. Like, so when we're talking about some of these cats, I'm just speaking. Whenever I speak highly of a rookie, it's because I have faith that they'll do well. But when I speak, when I speak about guys that have been just career backups and fucking special teamers, to me, if that's your career, you suck. You know why? Because you just can't get on the field. Don't get me wrong. It's nice being on an NFL roster. It's nice being able to get on the field, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're not on the field making plays to help to contribute to this team winning. And I'm sorry, when I hear people getting tackled, even from the special teams, I don't hear DFF. I know that. So that's the reason why we talk about these guys, when we talk about them, is because certain people just don't prove shit. But okay. Well, I'll leave that one all the way alone. I'm not even opening that. Yeah, just look. I guess he told you he was gonna leave the door open like Silk Sonic got this motherfucker. I don't know. Beto, what you got for us for a win-loss record for us?
I think we're gonna go. What is it? 13-3.
13-4.
13-4. Yeah.
Season, yes, sir.
I think the Niners are that good. I think that the quarterback will get situated. I think if Jackson can step up to be what I want him to be, and then adding Hargrave, this defense is going to be really good, and it's going to be able to build out the offense quite a bit. You don't have to score that many points if you're holding the opposite offense to low points. So I say 13-4, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hello to Karen Derrickson. First time I've seen you. Hello. Welcome to the channel. But what I will say is, media, what you got?
I got us going 13-4 as well.
Okay.
I just feel like, there's question marks at the quarterback situation, but I believe whoever ends up becoming the quarterback, I think we're still going to be able to win these amount of games. I feel like our schedule is pretty fair. I kind of do maybe have a surprising loss or two where it's like, you really have us losing against this team? Yeah, I do have us losing to the Giants, unfortunately. I know you guys might say, well, we can beat the Giants. Fortunately, that's where I'm picking to get our first L. I feel like our first kind of part of the schedule, we sometimes tend to struggle a little bit. Well, hopefully that's not the case this year, but sometimes just you end up losing games that you shouldn't be losing. So
yeah, we are notorious for slow starts in the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era. This is just something that's very common. the number one thing I was banking on is the fact that if Trey Lance starts, we don't get off to a slow start, so he kind of forces them to keep him on the field. As far as that's concerned, so I actually got to run, guys. I was glad to be able to hang out with y'all for the night, but we'll let Betho be the MC and give y'all some more fantastic content. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Nothing but love to everybody in the chat and all my guys on the panel. We all family here, but everybody stay blessed. I'm out.
See you,
Be
Deon.
blessed, brother.
See you,
Take
buddy.
care. That's our boy Deon. Great guy, man. Thank you for handling it. Man, you know what? This off. I know a lot of people earlier were talking about the offensive line and kind of worried about it. And you know what, Christian, you're right. I think the center is something to question mark. But I think the second year, if he can just not commit all those penalties, settle down a little bit. I do like McKivitz at right tackle. I mean, I left right guard. Excuse me. I think he'll be fine. But he's the only one that worries me out of everybody in that offensive line. He worries me, man. I don't know. I hope that McKivitz can stand up and do his thing, because if he does it, we're in trouble. I don't care who started quarterback. We're in trouble because I really don't see anybody behind McKivitz that you can truly feel comfortable saying if McKivitz can't do it right or he goes down, who's going to step up? I mean, unless you guys see somebody back there that you guys are confident that if McKivitz doesn't do it right, that he can step up and take care of that spot. I don't see it.
That's why we need one of the tight ends to step up. So if we can run some
I wonder if that's why they
two
brought
tight end
Latu.
sets.
Latu to kind of help him block.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more two tight end sets than we are used to.
Yeah, because I feel like when we had Jordan Reed that COVID year, like Kyle Shanahan was really hoping to try and do that two tight end set, but obviously like him and Kittle were never healthy together.
Mm-hmm.
And like Latu, obviously he's played defense like linebacker for the last 2 years before he converted. But I really think that Latu, like I feel like he's pretty still good for like it only being 2 years. He does have some things to work on, but so that's why I do like Braden Willis a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, if Latu can really show out in the blocking and then continue to develop his receiving game, I think that's gonna be really, really good. And honestly, I'm glad they're bringing in like new blood with the tight end spot, because it's like, man, you can't just keep bringing the same guys back over and over again. I feel like it's just not really working. So I think tight end definitely going to be something good battle to watch.
I'll tell you what, those boys from Oklahoma can block. So maybe the guy from Oklahoma can
Braden Willis
be our blocking. Willis can be our blocking tight end, because them boys from there's literally two offensive linemen from Oklahoma still in the league that are the best at their position. The best right tackle and the best left tackle in the league right now still are both from Oklahoma. Lane Johnson and the Silverback. So
yeah, I
Brandon
know.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Ferdinand mentioned that if McKivitz don't work out, if they'll kick Buford. I really don't see Buford being kicked over to the tackle position. I really feel that
I think
he's going to stay at guard.
I think that'd be a disaster.
Yeah, like I've mentioned in the past too, I understand he played right tackle in college, but it's a different level. You're going against an edge rusher. Yeah, I think Burford, like he obviously struggled a little bit, at right guard, and so I think putting him at right tackle doesn't make sense. You should just keep trying to develop as that right guard.
Yeah, get stronger at the position that you played last year. He added more weight, more muscle.
Mm-hmm.
He has great hands. Even that guy Feliciano, whatever the
John
free
Feliciano,
agent, he said that during practice today that I guess Buford hit him in the chest with his hands and bruised him on his chest because of the strong hands of Buford. So we're going to need that from him.
He'll prove a lot at the guard position this year, is why I don't want to move him, because I think we're going to see a huge jump from him. I think we'll see a even bigger jump from Banks, a big jump from Burford. So like my issues are somewhat at center and definitely at the right tackle position. But we'll have a first round pick next year. Maybe that's where we draft a right tackle.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you guys a question. Who do you think is going to lead in interceptions in that secondary? Because we know we brought in Steve Wilkes. This guy loves the secondary. He's going to be coaching from the booth, so he can have a very clear view of that defense. Who do you think is going to take advantage of his expertise that he brings to the table and will be the guy that has the most INTs? You can start with Christian, and then we 49 Media can answer.
If Lenore keeps his spot and progresses, especially under Wilkes, I'd expect it to be Lenore, because if he gets better, he's going to be the one they target the most in the secondary. They're going to go after him. So if he is able to take a step up this year, learn from Wilkes, he's going to make them pay a lot more than he has before.
I like it.
We saw him progress a lot this past season, and Wilkes is the kind of guy that's going to really help him a lot, I think. So having your defensive coordinator be DB guy, I see some of our young DBs really, really step up.
Well, he wants to do a lot. Before I go to media, he wants to do more man that he's here, and he wants to be able to quarterback to hold on to that football longer. But it'll dictate based on the offense.
That's what makes me wonder. Lenore's probably is better.
And man,
and no, I think he's better in zone. I think.
Excuse me. I'm talking
he's
about. He's
better in zone than man. So if we're gonna run man,
Ward is better in man than zone.
Yeah. So if we're gonna run man, I would say. Thomas would be. I would interesting to see how Thomas looks if he gets a chance to.
That's right. He's better at man. Right.
Because he was really good man.
Press
good at man
man
defense. Yeah. We ran all zone, and it absolutely destroyed him. Except for when we ran man against the last game, he even really got a start. We ran man, and he was really good. So that was 2 years ago in the playoffs. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who starts. It might change up where we're at in one of our corners just with the young guys, because they're going to have to put in the guy that's their best at man coverage. I prefer man coverage.
Same here.
With the pass rushers we have, I like that. I think as long as we can get another guy to go, and be shut down, we can get 2 shutdown corners. Bosa's going to he can break the sack record.
Yep. I agree with you.
Running zone makes it hard to break a sack record. You need man coverage to do that. And we get man coverage and give our guys a second or half a second longer to rush the quarterback, it's going to make the difference this year.
Those zones prevent a lot of deep balls to be thrown, and you can keep it all in the middle. But there's those little 5, 6, 7 yards are always going to be completions. And, the quarterback get rid of the ball real quick. It's hard because how many times has Bosa almost got there and the quarterback gets rid of the ball?
Mm-hmm.
When you play a man, they have to, and then you play good man, good cover man.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback's going to have to hold it a little bit longer, and that's all it takes.
Wouldn't you think that this kind of offense, if we do man, would actually help Hufanga, who gets lost a little bit in zone and kind of doesn't remember where he's supposed to be at times and blow coverages? It's going to be a lot easier because he's going to know. Yeah.
If they put him out there as well. I think the only one that can do both, no problem, is the veteran safety.
Sean Gibson.
Sean Gibson,
exactly.
But I think Hufanga would take advantage of opportunities of man as well.
We could see more interceptions from him and man, I think, too.
What I do like about Hufanga and Gibson, they can, or not Gibson, but Brown, they can interchange once Brown takes over. I think Gibson can do it too, where they interchange. They always say who's strong safety, who's free safety. I think both can do both. They can interchange. So there's no really solid spot. But I wanted to ask media now, what is that a secondary player you think you take complete advantage of our coach being here, Wilkes? Do you agree with Christian on Ellen or Lenore, or do you have someone else in mind?
See, now I kind of think about it, because I do agree with Christian, like with, Lenore, because I feel like he even showed it last year at times. And so I think he really will be taken off that coaching. But the thing is, I'm going to go with Gibson just because, I think overall, not just interceptions, but coverage-wise, I think Lenore I think Steve Wilkes will have a bigger impact. Like, it's gonna help Hufanga a lot, I feel like. So I'm gonna go with Hufanga. I feel like Hufanga's gonna get a few more picks this year and also be better in
We
coverage.
we could see a lot of interceptions from the safeties this year between the two safeties.
And
Easily this year.
especially if Jair Brown gets some playing time
Yeah.
too.
I'm interested to see Isaiah Oliver.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see
In the
him
slot?
in
Slot, yeah.
Wilkes' defense secondary, especially. He struggled a lot on the outside with
Yeah.
Atlanta, but once Atlanta decided to move him in the inside, he got better. Now under
Mhm.
Wilkes, I can see he's a big physical body. Now I'm not afraid of tight ends going down the middle. He can definitely. And one of the things that you're going to see a lot from Wilkes is they're going to use Isaiah Oliver in the blitz. Watch him go in as a
K1
blitzer.
Williams type.
Yeah, Keone, yeah, he's going to use him a lot, and he's a big body, and he's fast. So expect a lot of blitzes more than usual. Time blitzes, I think that's going to be fun. But if that front, especially if that front four is already dominating, and then you bring in an extra blitzer, quarterbacks don't have a prayer. You guys remember that it was a 2019 with the Green Bay Packers where we were blitzing the hell out of Aaron Rodgers?
Mhm.
And then D'Amico Ryans, or no, it was Robert Saleh at the time, called a blitz. Aaron Rodgers did not expect it. He got hit and fumbled the ball, and we recovered it. And he was already focused on the front four. He did not expect that fifth guy to come in and do. So I think we're going to see a lot of that under Wilkes, and I'm excited to see it.
Maybe we see a big step up in Womack too, who has might maybe become a ball hawk. It's gonna be interesting to see who we switch a lot at nickel and who plays, because I'd like Womack, especially with another year under his
He
belt.
showed a lot of promise in the last year in preseason.
I want to ask you guys, like, what do you think his role is, though? Because like, it really seems like Steve Wilkes is really going for it. It's gonna be Isaiah Oliver.
I mean, we could see multiple guys in the
rotation.
run in the nickel slot, in the nickel spot. So it just, I don't know, it depends.
That's why that third linebacker is not important for us. So that's why Aziz was not, so hard to let go. We don't play a third linebacker as much. We play 60% nickel, if not more, on the field with all this pass happy offense.
You know what we're missing too? Is like what I would want to bring up, if we are going to run more of a man defense, that actually what goes back to how the safeties may get a lot of interceptions. Having Fred Warner plays into Wilkes, could play into Wilkes' defense so well, because he can fully trust him to cover the tight end and cover, to have him on the tight end in coverage, which is completely going to free up one if not both of the safeties, and they're going to be able to run free, and that's where a lot of interceptions could come, because you have your linebacker that can cover as well as Warner can. It's going to be interesting to really see how this defense looks this year. I think it's going to look a lot different. I think it's going to be good, but it's going to be interesting to see if it looks different, just because Wilkes might completely run his defense completely different than what we saw last year. So
I don't want to take nothing away from D'Amico Ryans.
It was fantastic.
I think he did fantastic job. I don't want to take nothing from Robert Saleh, but the people don't realize that Steve Wilkes is a guy that has seen multiple offensive coordinators do things. There's nothing that I expect an offensive coordinator to take over or get over on Wilkes. There's a couple of times you saw D'Amico, the offensive coordinator, kind of took advantage of his inexperience or his first time as a defensive coordinator. You're not going to do that on Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes is, and I love that he's playing from. I know somebody said, well, if he's going to be in the box, he's not going to, because everybody got used to the passion and the, all the rah-rah from D'Amico and the rah-rah from Robert Saleh. But when you're specialized in secondary, a lot of the secondary coaches are always in the box, looking down to make those proper adjustments. And it's harder to see it from the field. And that's why he needs. But I think that our linebacking coach, Holland, that guy's a big rah-rah guy. And he's going to be the guy that's going to be in the middle, passing the plays from Wilkes up in the booth. And I think he'll provide that. But if these players are vets, I want to ask you guys, do you think these guys need that rah-rah? I know it's fun and exciting, as a player. But do you think they need it? You think these guys are professionals and vets, which they can handle their own? They don't need that raw to do their thing.
No, I think they'll be fine. I don't think they need it.
Yeah, I personally think, especially the defensive line and linebackers, yeah, they're the veterans and they're the leaders now of this defense, like a Fred Warner, like a Dre Greenlaw, everyone on the defensive line really. So I just don't see that being the case. I definitely think the secondary is a lot is younger, a little bit less they're not as experienced. So I definitely think that Steve Wilkes is definitely gonna
Pl-
help out the
Plus,
secondary guys.
Fred's the leader of that defense, and he's got it just fine.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
I think when it comes to that, having Fred Warner is good enough. Like that, he will get that team, the guys going. He's
Well,
a
yeah,
good,
he's
he's
going to
a
be able
good
to
leader.
take care of that tight end, like you said, and open up the safeties to whether either blitz or cover.
Yeah, but
out
I just
there.
mean like the raw stuff you're talking about, not having the coach down there.
Got
I
you.
think the way that Warner is such a leader of that defense, I think he's got it. If they ever like really need that,
And
I think
honestly,
he got it.
Hufanga too. I know
Yeah.
he's not he's not a season vet, but I think he brings in that fire that
Oh, yeah.
a big play type of guy that him and his thing that he does with his arms, and you can just see him stepping up and getting everybody riled up. Him and at the back end, and then you have Fred Warner in the middle,
Mhm.
and then that offensive line just
He's
dominating.
he's one of those guys where you can really feed off his energy. He's like that. He's the guy on that team that he makes some big play or makes some giant hit that like wakes the whole team up. That's the kind of guy he is. Like
Yeah, he
where people would
changes
feed
the
off his
atmosphere.
energy. Yeah.
One good play. Let me ask you guys on real quick. Offensively, let's talk a little bit about the offense. We know McCaffrey is who he is. McCaffrey's great. He's gonna, as long as he doesn't get hurt, he's gonna have a great year. Looking forward to see that. But who do you guys honestly see that's gonna be his backup? Is it gonna be Elijah Mitchell? Is it gonna be Jordan Mason stepping up his second year? Is it gonna be TDP or even that young rookie, that undrafted rookie that people have been talking about, Labarn,
Awat?
from Florida State? I heard he's been really good. Who do you guys really
Florida
see step up?
State.
I still think it's going to be Elijah Mitchell just because the breakaway speed and the acceleration. Like, with McCaffrey, he's an everything guy. He's the gadget guy, can do it literally everything on the offense, but he also doesn't have that breakaway speed Mitchell has. And I still like McCaffrey and Mitchell as the 1-2 punch. I like Mason on big, like short yardages. I trust him to get the pounding yards and stuff like that. But if you can get, and I think McCaffrey does like to run, but he prefers to run between the tackles. I honestly like getting Mitchell, out on the edge a little more. I think we can help him stay healthier with having McCaffrey now if he can have a whole full season healthy. I still like Mitchell just because he's going to have more chances with him playing with McCaffrey. I think to break some big runs. I think we're going to see it more this year if he stays healthy.
I hope so, because that's the key, though. That it's a crucial key for him. He has the ability. I love his maneuvering in the backfield. I think him in a combination of McCaffrey is going to be awesome. Can he stay healthy though? What's your thoughts, Fernando Minio? What of those running backs do you think will step up and be that guy behind McCaffrey, and why?
Yeah, I just don't really see like the running back part as really in need or much of a battle in terms of that second spot. It's really, as long as Mitchell's healthy and seems he's healthy, it's going to be Elijah Mitchell. I'm hoping TDP is able to improve, but he's not going to be running back too. I just hope to see improvement in him. But yeah, Elijah Mitchell, no doubts, running back number 2.
Okay, yeah. That's I can't wait for the running game to take place. I can't wait for the season. I want to see Trey with Christian McCaffrey. How is Trey going to be with Christian McCaffrey? I'm excited to see that. It's going to be fun. This show has been fun. Earlier we had Deon, we had Brandon and his wonderful internet. And then 40
And his freaking
and his
ghost.
ghosting. Yeah, I thought he was talking.
Yeah,
to,
he didn't look like a freaking.
I thought he was
Green.
interviewing Sam Donald with that ghosting stuff.
Shrek's. Well, he didn't look like a green apple. He looked like Shrek's left
Yeah,
nut.
it looked like if
I
he
can't
looked
talk.
like Chef left nut. And he kept coming out. But you guys have been great. 49 Media, Christian, you guys are awesome. I got invited here tonight, and then as soon as I came in, Brandon went running home to go eat. But it's all good. We still love the guy, hiding at home underneath his girlfriend's dress. But we love him. He knows I love him, bro. I tell people, if I don't give you a hard time, I don't really love
Exactly.
you. But you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in to what's the name of his channel? Just kidding. To Forever 49 Faithful here, and make sure to like and subscribe to his channel. Make sure to let's get him to 500, guys. Tell your friends. How does Pete say it? My boy Pete, tell a friend to tell a friend so we can become friends. Tell people about Brandon's channel. Tell him he promised he won't ghost you if you join his channel.
If we get 500, we'll have Anshul put 500 milk duds in his mouth.
No, that's not. You heard it. No, I'm not doing that. No,
I'm not touching that. We'll be here for another half hour.
I'll just, when the Lakers and Warriors meet again next year, I'll just put a bunch of milk duds on the court for the Lakers.
Okay, all right, milk dud. Keep the one plug in your backhoe though. Keep that plugged in. Don't let that one come up. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm your boy Niner Sickness. We have Christian and we got my boy Milk Dad. And we got the ghost, the green ghost.
We got your boy 49er Media.
And my boy 49er Media. Yes. And we got Brandon. Joey.
Huh?
And on that note, thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the next show. Don't get ghosted
by the Brandon.
Brandon's gonna haunt somebody tonight.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Say everybody back. Say everyone.